Hello, I'm Miranda, and this is Nick.
Wait.
Welcome to episode 40 of the Ranting Podcast. This is our Rants on the Rocks episode where we review different types of media. We're almost done with our October showdowns. This week, we're talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer, and we covered the 1997 premiere, the 1998 sequel, and the 2025 requel. Apparently, the 2025 film is classified as a requel because of the new cast.
Oh.
I don't know. That's what it said online.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what they said.
Okay.
Well, you said that you had seen the original, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So this wasn't, I guess, like so new for you. Had you seen the second one?
I think so. Maybe once. Yeah,
okay.
maybe once. The sequel or the original for sure.
Yeah.
I've seen that a bunch.
Okay.
And then I think we watched the new one before. I think once.
Yeah.
But no, the sequel. I don't know. I watched it once and kind of kept
fair.
it pushing.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't think that I had ever watched the original before this. I think even like I had said that when I was like trying to think of parts that I remembered or something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was just and now I know that I was just picturing Scary Movie or like you know, like putting two and two together from like watching Scary Movie.
Was the island, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but so I actually had never even seen this movie.
I think it's very easy to get it mixed up with like Scream
and Scary Movie,
100%. Yeah, Scary Movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like it's very easy to kind of jumble all of those.
And I mean, well, I kind of like talk about that a little bit too for like the similarities and whatnot. But I don't know. I thought like when we were going into it, I was like, oh, maybe I have seen it. Maybe I don't know. But no, after watching it, I had never seen that movie.
I definitely didn't remember the ending. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The second one?
Oh, yeah.
I did not remember that at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I hadn't watched the first, so I obviously hadn't watched the second one. But then, yeah, like you said, we watched the new one, but I fell asleep, so I didn't remember like any of that movie. So I don't know. I thought it was a pretty fun week. I don't know. It was all new movies, so it was kind of exciting. I wasn't like dreading anything this week like I was last week, so that was nice.
Last week was Goosebumps.
Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, sorry. I keep saying
I don't know why I keep saying Goosebumps. It's the green.
It's the green. Yeah, I picture the green, and I just think of Goosebumps.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but
that's fair.
Beetlejuice.
But yeah, so I mean, that was a nice little change for this week. Actually, like looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only hard part, I guess, was like, what was it? Monday. I think we had watched the first one on Sunday, and then I was like starting to work on it, and then you brought up the second movie on Monday, and I was like,
yeah, because I came up to your office. Yeah, I was like, don't forget, because there's another one in there.
Yeah, but you don't always know what you did last summer.
But then
it has nothing to do.
Exactly.
With it.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, well, just make sure you know about that.
Yeah, I think I initially had been thinking about that last movie or whatever, and like I've done this a few times. I just kept forgetting about the second movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So this is the first one where there's actually three components instead of two. So did you do a synopsis for both 1 and 2? Oh, you didn't just morph them.
So y'all get to listen to me yap for a good minute.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'll do all the plots and everything.
Okay.
But first, I brought some fun facts.
Oh, here we go.
Again. Okay, so for the first movie, writer Kevin Williamson wrote the script for I Know What You Did Last Summer prior to writing the script to Scream, but he was unable to sell it first. After he sold Scream and it became a huge success, Columbia Pictures immediately turned around and bought I Know What You Did Last Summer so that they could capitalize off this newfound horror success.
Wow.
But he still got criticism about it not being as good as Scream or being a ripoff of it, but it's actually quite the opposite because he wrote this movie first.
Okay.
He just couldn't sell it.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. I didn't know he created both.
Exactly. So when you're talking about like this movie and Scream and Scary Movie, I was like, well, they were the first two were written by the same person.
Wow.
So that's why I think it's really easy to.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, they have a lot of similarities. And stuff. But regardless, I mean, they're both good movies and both pretty successful. And I mean, we're going to talk about Scream too, so it's fine. Anyway, he also has stated that his father was a fisherman who wore a slicker, like the one that the killer wears. I thought it was like a raincoat. I didn't know that it had an actual name. It's a slicker.
Yeah, they say that in the movie. I had no idea. Slicker.
Yeah, I didn't like realize it until I actually had to like pay attention, and then I was like,
okay.
oh.
Yeah.
So, anyway, his father was the fisherman who wore the slicker, and that's what inspired the killer's outfit for the film.
Okay.
And then, despite Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s characters, Ray and Helen, barely interacting on the screen, the two became good friends after meeting and working on this film together, and then they eventually fell in love and have been married since 2002.
Wait, who is this?
Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, they've been together for a really long time.
I didn't know that.
I love them. They're so cute.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So they met on the
so
set.
fucking cute. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they also did like Scooby-Doo together too. Those movies.
Okay.
I don't know what else they did.
Okay.
You've never seen Scooby-Doo?
I don't think so.
Really?
No. Told you, Tremors and Backdraft.
Interesting. I could have sworn we've like I guess maybe I watched it with the kids or something. I don't know. I've seen that movie 1,000 times.
Probably with the kids. Yeah.
Like, well, no, it came out forever ago. It's actually a pretty funny movie.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, we should check it out sometime.
Okay.
But anyway, so you know that iconic "What are you waiting for?" scene.
Yep.
So according to a U.S. Weekly interview from 2018 with Jennifer Love Hewitt, that scene was directed by a kid that won a contest, and his prize was to go in and create a moment for the movie. And she said that at first she was like, you seriously want me to do that? But like she went along with it, and it's since become one of the most well-known horror movie scenes.
Oh, wow.
So it worked out.
That's insane.
And then, the ice inside the storage of the fishing boat was actually made of gelatin so that Jennifer Love Hewitt could easily and more comfortably move around inside there.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Probably a lot safer too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then finally for this movie, in the scene where Helen is being chased and she's pounding on the store door when her bitch sister finally opens it, and she says like, we don't hear it in like when she says it, but she says to her, you could have walked around to the Broad Street entrance. It's open. So like the audience can barely hear it because Helen's like frantically screaming and trying to lock the door and everything.
Okay.
But in the movie, the killer hears her, and that's how he gets inside and then comes and kills her when she's locking the door back up.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was one thing that I was like, well,
That's how he knew to go around.
Yeah, I remember thinking that was like, how would he have known how to get in or something, but that explained it.
Okay.
That was just one thing.
I wonder if some people thought that was like a plot hole.
Maybe.
And then
possibly.
they're like, no, actually, we covered that.
Yeah, maybe. Because I mean, even we watched it with the subtitles, but I don't remember seeing that. I don't know.
No, I don't remember seeing that at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess that explains how he got in. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's all I have for the first one.
Okay.
I only have a couple for the second because there wasn't a whole lot. So the sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. This sequel would mark the last time Jennifer Love Hewitt starred in a horror movie for 27 years because she didn't want to be typecast as a scream queen.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So she did the first one and then that one, and then she was like, nah, I'm done.
Okay.
And then although he remains uncredited for some unknown reason, this was Jack Black's first horror movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's uncredited.
Yeah, he's uncredited. Like, I don't know
Was he just coming up or what?
I don't know.
97?
90. This one was in 1998.
Okay.
So I don't know if he was still like up and coming. I thought about doing a deep dive into it, but
Rock
then I
was
didn't.
In the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he was still doing so. I don't know. But yeah, for some reason, like even when you look on IMDb, it lists him on there, but it says uncredited. So they must have just he must have just gotten left out of the credits for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Huh.
But
he just wasn't big yet.
I guess. Okay. Maybe. But yeah, it was
I was
his
surprised
first
to see
horror
him.
movie. I know. I was like, what the hell is Jack Black doing here?
Very weird role
random.
too. Very weird. But
I mean, he's funny.
Oh
It
yeah,
was fine.
he's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
but just a very weird role for him. But I mean, it's 98, so
yeah.
Things were weird in 98.
Yeah. Okay, and then I just had a few for the new movie as well. So for the 2025 film, there was actually a lot of negotiations that had to happen in order to get Jennifer Love Hewitt back to reprise her role as Julie. And this was mostly due to scheduling conflicts with 911.
I was going to say, she's doing 911 at that point.
Mm-hmm. And then she also reportedly stated that she would not reprise her role if her character died. So that was like one stipulation she had, I guess.
Okay. I mean, that's...
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I lost my spot. I guess writer-director Jennifer Caton Robinson had expressed a deep desire for wanting to bring Sarah Michelle Gellar back, but there was just no way to do it realistically since we saw Helen die in the first film. Like, I guess she was trying to workshop some different things, and Sarah Michelle Gellar was like, girl, I died.
Yeah.
And everybody saw me die.
Right.
Like, you can't.
Yeah.
You're going to ruin it.
Okay. Huh.
But since they were able to write her in for the dream that Danica has in the police station, it was kept a huge secret until the movie premiered and the audience found out while watching the movie that she actually makes that cameo.
Okay.
So yeah, like when she comes back in that dream that Danica has, and
I'm trying to picture it. I don't remember.
She's like standing in front of the croaker queen, like the clamshell.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So that was actually
she's in her prom or no,
the gown, right? the beauty pageant dress. But yeah, so she came back for that. That was actually her, but they like digitally like de-aged her, is what it said.
Right.
So obviously because she died when she was like
30 years.
Yeah, a child. Anyway. Okay. And then speaking of the premiere, this was the only movie in the series to actually be released in July, which is the same month that the events take place in the films.
Oh,
None of the other ones were released in July.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And then there were actually quite a few callbacks to the original film in this movie as well. But specifically, there was the gym scene where Teddy sees the threatening message on the window saying, "You're next." Mm-hmm. It was kind of an homage to Barry's gym encounter with the fisherman. And then also Tyler, when she was killed inside the department store where Elsa and Helen Shivers were murdered. Then, but like more specifically, with her part is that she initially escapes the killer using the same freight elevator that Helen did.
Yeah.
So there was like
that.
those two big things that really stood out to me. But I thought that was neat how they like kind of did those callbacks without it being too much. Like I didn't feel like it was over the top or anything.
And he even what is it? The hook thing. Yeah. He even goes for their feet in both of those scenes too, for the freight elevator. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, that was all I had for my fun facts.
Okay.
So let's go into the synopses.
Okay.
All right. Set the scene. Okay. So for the 1997 film, it begins on July 4th, 1996 in Southport, North Carolina. And the story is focused on four friends: Julie, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt; Ray, by Freddie Prinze Jr., Helen, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and then Barry, played by Ryan Phillippe. So in the movie, when it starts out, Helen has just won the Croaker Queen beauty pageant. So the friends drive down to the beach to celebrate. On the way back, Ray is driving Barry's car, and Barry's acting like a dum-dum, standing out of the sunroof with a bottle of liquor. He ends up dropping the bottle down into the car and onto Ray, and while Ray is distracted by that, he accidentally hits a pedestrian. After a little bit of investigation, the friends believe that they've murdered this man, and rather than face the potential consequences like manslaughter, drinking and driving, probably underage drinking as well, they opt to dump the body in the water. While they're in the process of moving it, they're approached by a classmate, Max, who's played by Johnny Galecki. That's Leonard from Big Bang.
Yep.
But they're able to wave him off. So they go ahead with dumping the pedestrian's body, and Barry forces the three of them to make a pact to never speak of the incident again. Fast forward 1 year, Julie returns home from college for the summer, and it's clear that she's been having a hard time. All four of them have gone their separate ways, with the couples breaking up as well. As soon as she gets home, Julie receives a note that says, "I know what you did last summer." And she immediately goes to find Helen to show her the note and ask if she's received one as well. Together, they then go to Barry, who suspects Max of playing a prank on them after having seen them that night. Julie then goes to find Ray, who is now working as a fisherman, to let him know what's going on as well. That night, though, after being confronted by the group, Max is killed by a dark figure in a slicker with a large hook. I wrote raincoat. So later that same night, Barry is attacked by the same assailant when they steal his car and hit him with it. In the following days, after doing some digging, Julie finds this newspaper article regarding the man that they ran over, and she learns that his name was David Egan. She convinces Helen to go with her to visit David's sister, Missy, in an attempt to get some information about David. After the trip, the girls return home, and that night the killer breaks into Helen's house and cuts her hair while she sleeps. The following morning, after going to see Helen, Julie stumbles upon Max's corpse covered in crabs in the trunk of her car, but when she brings the others over to see it, everything's gone. While Barry and Helen go on to participate in the annual 4th of July parade, Julie heads back out to go see Missy again. While she's there, Missy tells Julie that she believes her brother committed suicide after having lost his girlfriend, Susie Willis, on that same road. And Missy reveals that she found a suicide note from her brother saying, "I will never forget last summer." Julie admits that she believes that the note was a threat, not a suicide note, because she saw him that night. And she tells Missy that it was an accident, they hit him and all this stuff. But Missy is like, "No, you're wrong." And she yells at her to leave. Upon revealing that the man had a tattoo, and Missy, rebukes that, Julie realizes that the man that they hit wasn't David Egan after all. Later that day, at the current year's Croker beauty pageant, Helen witnesses Barry get murdered by the man with the hook on the balcony. But when they go to investigate, there's no evidence of a murder or Barry. Helen is then escorted home by a police officer who ends up getting killed as well. Helen escapes and runs away to her family's department store, where the killer then murders her sister, Elsa. Again, Helen manages to escape, but the killer quickly catches up with her and slashes her to death.
That's the scene you were talking about in the beginning.
Yes.
Where he overheard that the back door was open. Yep.
Exactly. So meanwhile, Julie had found an article mentioning Susie Willis's father, Ben, and she quickly puts two and two together that the man that they hit was Ben Willis, not David Egan. So she goes to Ray, but realizes that he had actually gone to see Missy before they even knew about her. So she tries to run away from him, and while she's running and screaming, some other fisherman comes off his boat and knocks Ray unconscious. This fisherman then invites Julie onto his boat so she can call the police. But once she's aboard, Julie stumbles upon a room with photos and articles about her and her friends on the walls. And before she realizes it, the boat leaves the fishing dock and the fisherman reveals himself to be Ben Willis, the man who's been targeting the group for revenge. Ben ends up chasing Julie down below deck, where she finds the dead bodies of Barry and Helen in the ice storage meant for the fish. And just in time, Ray wakes up and takes off in a smaller boat to go rescue Julie. After jumping onto the fishing boat and having a scuffle, Ray manages to use rigging equipment to sever Ben's hand and send him flying overboard. Ray explains to Julie that he only went to visit Missy out of guilt, and the two end up reconciling and express their relief over not having actually killed anybody. Fast forward one more year, and Julie's back at college in Boston, and it appears that she's doing significantly better than before. And just as she's heading in to take a shower, she sees "I still know" written on the foggy mirror. And then at the last minute, someone breaks through the glass to attack her, and that's the end of the movie.
That's what I didn't understand is the endings of these movies are
I know
confusing.
the jumps, yeah.
Yeah, because that's not where the second one picks up.
No, I think it's just for the point of like a jump scare, just for the sake of a jump scare. But yeah, that was like my only beef with it too. Is I was like, I don't really care for this ending.
I thought the original plan, at least my opinion, is probably they didn't expect it to keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they didn't expect to make a sequel.
That's kind of what it seems like.
So they were just like, oh, fuck it. Let's do one last jump scare. And then they're like, oh, wait, shit. Kind of like Jackass.
Yeah.
Like, that was supposed to be the last one, and then all of a sudden they're making another one.
Exactly. Yeah, that they just set it up to like not have any sequels or something.
And then they made 3 more.
Yeah, I know. All right. Are you ready to go into the second?
Yeah.
Okay. So the second movie picks up 1 year following the ending of the last one. So now we're in 1998. Jennifer Love Hewitt reprises her role as Julie, and Freddie Prinze Jr. comes back as Ray. But we're introduced to Carla, who's played by Brandy, and Tyrell, who's played by Mekhi Phifer, and their friend Will Benson, who's played by Matthew Settle. So starting off, we see Julie at college in Boston, and she's doing well, but still suffering from nightmares of the previous movie's incidents. One morning, Carla gets a call from a local radio station telling her that she has the opportunity to win an all-expense-paid trip to the Bahamas if she can correctly guess the capital of Brazil. She says Rio and ends up winning the trip, inviting her boyfriend Tyrell and also Julie. But when Julie extends an invitation to Ray, he declines because she had previously declined to visit him in Southport for the weekend. But Ray's friend and coworker Dave convinces him to drive up to Boston, and then he offers to take the ride up there with him. Unfortunately, though, that evening on their way, they drive up on what appears to be a body, but it turns out to be a mannequin. And the fisherman from the previous movie is back and kills Dave with his hook before chasing Ray down in his truck, causing him to fall down a hill off the side of the road. The next morning, Carla, Tyrell, Julie, and now Will depart for their trip to the Bahamas. While they're checking into their hotel in Tower Bay, they learn that they've arrived just in time for storm season, so almost everybody else is leaving.
That sucks.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ray flees from the hospital, and he pawns the ring that he planned to propose to Julie with to purchase a revolver, and he heads to go find Julie in the Bahamas. That evening, while Julie is at the hotel bar with her friends singing karaoke, a message comes up on the screen reading, "I still know what you did last summer." Julie becomes terrified, and she takes off back to her room, unwilling to explain since her friends don't know about her past. Later into the night, we see the fisherman murder Derek, a dockhand at the hotel. This is before he goes on to murder a housekeeper named Olga, and then he hides her body. While Carla, Tyrell, and Will are relaxing in the hot tub, Julie remains in her hotel room where she ends up finding Derek's body hidden in her closet. But when she tries to get everybody else to come see, again, the body is gone.
Magic.
And when she alerts the hotel manager, Mr. Brooks, he doesn't believe her and then accuses all of them of being troublemakers. But when they start expressing that they're just going to leave, he reminds them that there's an incoming storm and there's no way for them to leave the island now. Afterwards, Titus Telesco, the resort's pothead pool boy, who's randomly played by Jack Black,
Yeah.
he ends up getting murdered by the fisherman.
Poor Jack.
Yeah. On the following day, Carla convinces Julie to relax in a tanning bed, but the fisherman ends up sneaking into the room, turning up the heat, and then zip tying Julie inside, which requires her friends to come and rescue her.
I hate it. That was my least favorite scene
Yeah.
out of all 3 movies.
Like, just unplug it.
Just the stupidity that went into that.
I
They're all
know.
panicking, like,
I know.
cut the power.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So at the same time that this happens, Carla finds the housekeeper's body stuffed into a dryer, and then the boys find Titus's body in the pool house. But when they go to call for help, they end up finding Mr. Brooks dead in his office. And there they see the 2-way radio has been destroyed. And then to top it all off, they realize that all of the boats were cut loose from the docks. So now Julie confesses to her friends what happened 2 years prior, as well as last summer. So together, the group decides to go to Estes, the resort bellhop, and then they find out that he's been practicing voodoo when they go into his room, his space. I don't know what it is. It's like a little shed. Anyway, they immediately assume that he's using the voodoo against them, but Estes explains that he's been trying to protect them. He tells Carla that her answer to the radio host was incorrect because Rio is, in fact, not the capital of Brazil, and he believes that they were all set up to go to the island. So Turns out Ben Willis, the killer from the previous movie, used to work at the resort that they're staying at. He used to stay there with his wife and 2 kids, a boy and a girl. One day, his wife went missing and the maid found blood all over the honeymoon suite. Ben was accused of killing her for cheating on him, as well as other domestic violence accusations. But ultimately, Ben was able to leave the island with his children. So now, though, Estes shows them graves in the cemetery. And we see the graves that were for Ben's wife and his daughter. But now there's an open grave with Julie's name written on the headstone. So while they're busy looking at the graves, Estes just disappears. And Will's like, I'll find him. So he takes off to go look for Estes, and the others go back to the hotel. Meanwhile, through all of this, Ray is on his way to the island after holding up a boat captain and demanding to give him his boat. So back at the hotel, Julie, Carla, and Tyrell find Nancy, the bartender, hiding in the kitchen. But while they're all in there together trying to get a game plan down, the fisherman appears and kills Tyrell. While fleeing, Carla gets attacked by the fisherman, but she's saved by Julie and Nancy. Together, the women run to the storm cellar where they find the fisherman's other victims. Just in time, Will rescues them from the storm shelter and takes them back to the hotel where he tells them that he got attacked by Estes, but he got away. So Nancy and Carla go to find a first aid kit so they can help Will clean up, but then they end up finding Estes impaled with a harpoon. And at the same time, Will reveals to Julie that it was actually him who set them up. Will ends up dragging Julie to the graveyard where he reveals that he is Ben Willis's son, who has also been alive this whole time. And Ben kills Nancy and then shows up at the cemetery where Will and Julie are. And at the last minute, Ray shows up and starts fighting with Will. Ben tries to stab Ray, but he ends up stabbing and killing Will instead. And now, distraught and preparing to kill Ray, Ben is then shot and killed by Julie with Ray's revolver. Back at the hotel, Carla is found alive, and the 3 remaining characters are rescued by the Coast Guard. Fast forward through some time, we see Julie and Ray getting married and buying a home, essentially planning to live happily ever after. But in the final scene, Julie sits on the edge of her bed and looks into the mirror, seeing Ben laying underneath the bed, and then he grabs her by the ankles and he drags her under the bed too. And that's how that movie ends.
But again, none of okay.
I know.
Those endings don't actually happen.
I know. Yeah. That's what I like the ending, not my fave for the first two.
Yeah. Okay.
It was, I don't know. It was all right, I guess. All right. The third.
Okay.
Alrighty. So in doing all this, like I said, when you brought up the second movie and everything, I was trying to just make sure that like we had to include that and stuff for the sake of this.
Right.
But it was confirmed that this movie is a direct requel from the second movie.
What is that? What is a requel?
It's said online.
Sequel?
Yeah.
Recasted
sequel.
Okay.
Recasted sequel, essentially.
Okay.
That's how it was described online. I had never heard the term before, so I was just like, all right, if you say so.
But they brought back, what's her name? Jennifer?
Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. But like, I think because it's not centered on like them as the people in it. It's like the whole, I think that's what it is.
That makes sense.
Anyway, so this was a direct requel. That's why we just ignored that third movie. And then I think there was like a TV series, whatever. Moving on.
Yeah.
Final plot. Okay. In this movie, our main characters are Ava, who's played by Chase Swee Wonders, Danica, played by Madeline Klein, Teddy, played by Tyreek Withers, Milo, played by Jonah Howard King, and Stevie, played by Sarah Pigeon. And then, of course, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt come back for their roles as Ray and Julie. And then, as I said, Sarah Michelle Gellar makes an appearance as Helen.
Okay.
So this one starts out similar to the first. There are 4 friends together on the 4th of July in Southport. It's the night of Danica and Teddy's engagement party. So the 4 friends, along with an old friend of theirs, Stevie, head out to watch fireworks from a hilltop along a curved roadway. While they're standing on the side of the road, Teddy is standing in the middle of the road, acting like a moron, and he causes a car to veer off track to avoid hitting him. But that car ends up hitting a guardrail and then falls over the cliff. Everybody panics, but Teddy and Danica convince the others to just, they're going to call the police and then they're going to go to the police station to give their statement. So they end up leaving, but then while they're already in the car, Danica and Teddy reveal to everybody else that they're just going to go to Teddy's father's house and he's going to handle everything. He's going to cover it up. So they do that. They all agree never to talk about it again. Anyway, fast forward to a year later, and we see Ava heading back to Southport, and she ends up being accompanied by a female podcaster named Tyler, who is heading there to research the 1997 massacre for her next episode. Turns out Danica is engaged again, this time to a man named Wyatt. So the friends, minus Teddy, all reunite for her engagement party again. Mm-hmm. But while she's opening gifts, Danica opens an unsigned note that says, "I know what you did last summer." And she shares the note with Milo, Ava, and Stevie, but she insists that it's got to be Teddy who sent the letter because he's just jealous that she's moved on. So they couldn't find anything about him, and then they decide that they're going to go and confront Teddy about it. Mm-hmm. But when they do, and it's on Milo, boat, right? It's Milo, Ava, and Stevie that go to confront him, he immediately denies it. So that night, while Danica is taking a bath and listening to a meditation tape, Wyatt is killed by someone resembling the fisherman. So it's a person wearing the slicker.
Yeah. That one was brutal.
Yeah, that one was crazy. And then at the police station, all of the friends, now including Teddy, show up to support Danica, and Teddy's father lets her know that he's arranged for a police detail for her. Ava spends the night with Danica, so she's not alone. And then the girls talk about having parted ways and like the fallout and everything like that. The next day, Ava reunites with Tyler and accompanies her to Bayside House, which is the former department store where Elsa and Helen Shivers were murdered. Unfortunately, though, while they're there, the killer attacks both of them, and Tyler is murdered and then hung outside the building with a makeshift noose. Teddy's father, Grant, is on PR overdrive about Southport, so Ava knows that like the local police aren't actually going to help them because they're all in his pocket. So she decides to go find Julie James, who's teaching at a college, and she starts begging her for help. Julie simply tells her, she's like, "What'd you do last 4th of July? You need to find out who's connected to Sam Cooper." Boom, done deal. Pretty much, she's like, "This is what you need to do."
Yeah.
Kudos. So that night, there's a town hall in Southport, and Grant and Chief Roberts, the police chief, they twist the narrative to make it seem like Tyler was unwell. So they're saying that like she had recently gotten off psychiatric meds and stuff. And then when Ava tries to bring up Sam Cooper, then they're like, "Oh, he was a drug addict that crashed a stolen car." So they're really just trying to say like, it's these individuals. It's not Southport.
Right.
So then while they're trying to calm the crowd, though, and offer prayer services from the local worship leader, Pastor Judah, Stevie's boss and original survivor, Ray, steps through the crowd, and he announces that they need to find the killer and stop them rather than sweep the murders under the rug. Stevie brings her friends to tell Ray what happened, and Ray then confronts Julie, who is now his ex-wife, for telling the kids to go find the killer themselves. Meanwhile, Milo, Ava, and Stevie head to the impound lot to see if they can recover any information about the car Sam Cooper crashed. They end up finding out that the car was registered to Pastor Judah. At the same time, Danica and Teddy head to the cemetery to see if they can put any connections together from like the previous murders. But while they're there, Danica notices fresh flowers on Sam Cooper's grave, and she asks the cemetery worker if he can review the cameras to see who left them. But the killer attacks the cemetery worker in the work shed and then goes on to attack Danica and Teddy. Well, Danica, really. But Teddy comes in, fights him off, and saves Danica. Danica that night then insists on everyone staying together, so, to lessen the chances of them being attacked again. So they spend the night together at what I'm assuming it's Teddy's house. And Stevie ends up leaving to go back to work at the bar. So Teddy and Danica decide to sleep in a room together, and they begin cuddling and reconnecting and stuff. And then in another room, Milo and Ava like start hooking up, but then Ava makes it weird by asking him to strangle her. And he's like, ooh, I need to go step outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes outside and he sits in his car for a bit and then gets ready to go back in. But while he's outside of her window, the killer attacks and strangles Milo before shoving his body in the back seat of his own car and then driving away in it, making it look like Milo left on his own. Mm-hmm. So the following day, Ava and Danica head to Pastor Judah's church. And while Ava distracts him, Danica finds a photo of Judah and Sam Cooper together in a journal with some disturbing writings. The girls take the information to the police, but they end up being held in custody after Chief Roberts calls Grant, Teddy's father. Later that night, while the girls are still being held, the killer attacks Teddy, stabbing him multiple times, and then uses him as bait to lure Grant outside. And just when Teddy succumbs to his injuries, the killer murders Grant with the hook. The following morning, the girls are then released from custody after Grant and Teddy's disfigured bodies are discovered strung up at the harbor. When they go to leave, Ava finds Milo's car and unfortunately also his dead body in the back seat. Ray warns them that they need to get out of there, so the girls jump on Teddy's boat and just head out into the water. The police arrive at the church to arrive Pastor Judah, but instead they find his dead body as well, along with another photo of Sam Cooper, this time alongside Stevie, revealing her as the killer. Mm-hmm. At the same time, back on the boat, Stevie confronts Ava and Danica, confessing that Sam Cooper was her boyfriend. She explains that she had met him in rehab, and that night a year ago, he was going to find her so that she didn't relapse with the group, which is why he had taken Judah's truck. She goes on saying that she didn't even know it was Sam in the car until his body washed up the following morning.
Oof.
And she says that Judah happily took Grant's money in exchange for his silence. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. I killed him before we got to the docks. So now Danica and Stevie are fighting on the bow of the boat when Ray arrives. And then, is it bow or is it bow? It's a bow. Yeah, bow. I just realized that. I just reading.
That's
okay.
Fine.
So Danica and Stevie are fighting on the bow of the boat while Ray arrives. And then Stevie ends up stabbing Danica and then she throws her overboard. Ooh. But Ray shoots Stevie and knocks her overboard too. So, and they're like, oh, we're safe. So now that they're getting off the boat and everything, Ava calls Julie to update her on what's happened. But as Julie listens to the voicemail, she realizes that Ray is the second killer who's been working alongside Stevie, and she immediately takes off to Southport. Unfortunately,
that was a wild twist.
Mm-hmm, at the same time, Ava also realized that Ray is the second killer, and he ends up stabbing her just as Julie arrives. And then he explains to Julie how his hatred for Southport grew as it was rebuilt. And then, you know, how everything that happened to them was covered up and stuff. It was just a lot of like resentment, it sounds like. So then he goes on to explain that when Stevie came to him about what happened with Sam, that he decided he was going to use her to get his own revenge while she got hers as well. And Ray tells Julie how he planned to pin all of it on her, but he ends up getting shot and killed by Ava with a spear gun. In the end, Danica washes ashore alive and is taken to the hospital. After both girls are released from the hospital, they go grab some food on the beach, and Ava tells Danica that Stevie's alive since Ray had revealed that he had faked her death. And the girls are like, haha, should we kill her? And then finally, in an alternate post-credit scene, we can see Stevie is alive and seemingly living in a lavish home, but she's attacked by someone in a fisherman's slicker jumping through the back glass door at her.
That's right, yeah.
And then there's also actually a mid-credit scene that I didn't even like realize. Both of these I didn't know about until later. Yeah, okay. Until I was doing my research, because like I had read that there was this post-credit scene and then I went through and I was trying to find it. It's not post-credit, it's mid-credit. that alternate ending, because we bought it on Vudu, you have to like go down to the like extras and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so the alternate post-credit scene with Stevie was down there.
Okay.
This part was a mid-credit scene. So it's like, I forgot to check. It's a little bit into the credits.
Okay.
And then it shows Carla, who's Brandy, watching the news, and she sees the news report about what's happened with Ray and Julie and everything.
Yep.
And right as she turns off the TV, there's a knock at her door, and it's
I remember
Julie.
that scene. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
That's right.
And it's Julie, and she's like, "Hey, I got this." And I think it says like it's still not over or something. And it's a picture of Julie and Carla, but Carla's face is crossed out. So she shows
Leaving
them
it open
that.
for another one.
Yeah, and Carla's like, "Who are we gonna beat up this time?" or whatever. I don't know, some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the movie. But
See, at least that
Yeah.
makes more sense than the ending of the other two.
yeah, I think so too.
So it'd be interesting to see if they bring it back.
Yeah, but in general, I mean, as far as the plots go, did you have a fave, or at least a least fave, or
My least favorite's the second one for
Same.
sure.
100%?
I didn't really care for that one.
Yeah.
I like the first one. I don't know. I always like the more modern ones, as long as the plot's there, and it was.
Yeah.
I think the crazy twist though with Ray, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yep.
Right, that was fucking wild.
Yeah, I
that's
did
like
not see
that's
that
a
coming at
major
all.
yeah. So when we watched it the first time, you fell asleep. I finished the movie, so I knew that. So as you've been talking about this, I wanted so badly to be like, it's a crazy twist.
Yeah, I'm glad that you didn't, because
but
I
then-
probably would have figured it out.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, I just kept quiet, but I knew it was
Yeah.
coming. The weeks building
Yeah.
up to it. But between the first and we're taking the third out of it.
Yeah.
A favorite between the two? I don't know.
I know I had a really hard. I don't think I even decided until I like finished this.
Yeah, this one was a lot more gory.
Oh,
I'll
for
say that
sure.
the new one.
New one.
Yeah, especially like that first
Absolutely.
scene when
Yeah.
the fiance is taken out. That one's fucking gnarly.
A lot of it was pretty gnarly. And like,
Yeah.
I'll talk about the deaths and stuff too, but yeah. it
Yeah,
was-
between the two though, the first one though always cracks me up when because all I think of is Scary Movie. When she looks up at the sky, the scene you were talking about in the
She's like,
beginning.
"What are you waiting
waiting
for?"
for? I just think of Scary Movie. What are you waiting for?
And he's like, "What am I waiting for?"
But I don't know. I think I don't know. One that I would watch, like happily watch again, would probably be the third one, the newest one.
That's fair.
I think.
That's fair.
But a
Yeah.
good throwback though.
Yeah.
Like a throwback movie, definitely the first one.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think I would definitely
Just
watch
depends
both
on the
of them
mood, the
again.
mood. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I would watch the second one. Again.
No. I mean, well, I said like I had written that for the second movie in general just kind of felt like a filler movie to me. And it was like, so at the time when it came out, I'm sure it made sense. And I mean, it still does make sense, I guess. But I think it was more applicable in 98 because then now when you bring in this one, it really just feels like a filler movie. Like it feels like
do you mean?
unnecessary.
Okay.
I don't know.
Why
I mean,
do you
as
feel
far
it's
as
unnecessary?
like, just in like the grand, like the whole story, I guess, because like they
okay.
only refer to the 1997 massacre in the new movie.
Okay.
There's no reference to them being in the Bahamas
Okay,
or
I
anything
see.
like that at
I see
all.
what you're saying, yeah.
Even when
There's no
Ray's
callbacks to the
no,
second. Got it.
nothing.
Okay.
Even when Ray is like, yeah, what happened to us back then? And it's like, but you don't also talk about how you also had to fight this guy in
Yeah,
the
right.
Bahamas. How he like there's nothing whatsoever
Yeah.
referring to that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it does
That's
make
fair.
sense to be in there, but now that like there's all three of them,
Yeah.
it could just
I can appreciate the plot though for the second one. I don't want to shit on
Yeah.
that because I do like the creativity that went into bringing the sun into it.
Yeah.
And kind of like the
wasn't-
Rio
yeah.
thing and everything, you know,
Yeah.
and even like them going back to, you know, how you can kind of trace it back to that island and that that resort is how what's his name worked there. And then his son was, you know, did some time there on vacations and stuff. So I like that part. But yeah, it definitely feels, now that you explain it like that, more of a filler.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
just kind of something in there for like some more
Which
background
makes you
or
wonder-
something like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it makes you wonder why the
The
third one? Yeah, the third one, which we didn't cover.
It's a completely different cast. It has
Yeah,
nothing to do with this
like
one, and
this-
it's set in Colorado.
Oh. Where?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, it's
Colorado.
like I started reading a synopsis of it a little bit, but
Where in
it's
Colorado?
like
Do you know? But it's like Boulder or something. Denver.
no, it's probably like a made up town. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember, but it's like
Anyways.
it's a whole new cast, and it's that they like it said that they covered up the accidental death of a friend. And then it's the same kind of thing where they end up like getting stalked a year later.
What's it
and
called?
Stuff. I'll always know what you did last summer.
Okay. So it's
But
like
that's
it's like a
why-
spin-off? Is that? Okay. Interesting.
I don't know. That's why it doesn't really make sense
Yeah.
because even like at the end of the second one, I think, what is it? There's something that refers to I'll always know or like there's something like that.
We just said that at some point. Yeah. I'll always know.
Yeah, there's something that refers to that. So that's why I guess like the idea for the third one, like they were leaving it open, but then they completely like went a whole other direction with it,
Yeah.
which is why I think it just like flopped.
Yeah. Fell off.
So,
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I agree that I like the first two. Now I'm glad that we watched the second one, but it's my least favorite of the three.
So wait, hold on. So which is your favorite?
I'm back and forth.
Because you said the first two and then you said the second.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I mean the first and the third.
Okay.
And then the second one. Sorry.
Okay, got it.
I misspoke.
So between so
Yeah.
same thing that I said too. So which
Yeah.
one's your favorite between the first and the third?
I think I ended up saying the third.
Okay.
I think that's what I say later on.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
Yeah, but
like
I
I
mean,
said,
I
a good
still
throwback,
really like
though.
the first one. Yeah,
That's a good throwback. Like,
Yeah.
let's watch an older or scary movie.
exactly.
That's a solid
So,
choice.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know, but okay. So also I had like the characters and stuff that we could talk about. It was like the casting.
Okay.
And things. That's one thing that I liked about the first and the third movie I thought were cast really well. I mean, all of them were, but as far as like the first one, I think I even said this when we were watching it, that I thought it was kind of funny that it was like four of the biggest heartthrobs in Hollywood at the time.
Okay.
'Cause you had Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Ryan Phillippe. Like, those are like 90s stars,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
Like,
The fourth one is, I think, a little less, but
Ryan Phillippe was huge back then.
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else that I've.
He was in, oh shit, what is that called? Not True Lies.
That's Arnold.
It also has Sarah Michelle Gellar in it and Reese Witherspoon.
I don't know.
Shit, I had it right on the tip of my tongue too. Oh my God, I can't. I'm going to kick myself for that later.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. That's going to bother me. It'll come
I
to
definitely
me as soon
I
as we're done
recognized all of
recording.
them. I couldn't really place. Obviously, Freddie Prinze Jr. Those main three.
Yeah.
Obviously, you see those three all over the place.
Yeah. No,
even-
Ryan
even-
Phillippe used to be really big.
The other one, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
He was a
don't-
douche in this movie. But
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, he played it well. Yeah.
natural
Anyway,
douche, maybe.
maybe I don't know. But no, I think that they all played like the scared young adult roles very well, and they all fit their characters' personalities. Like I just felt like their appearance fit the character's personality, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Like that's that was just the best way that I could explain it, I guess.
Yeah.
I liked Brandy and Mekhi Phifer in the second, but I mean they were obviously just like the token black friends. But Brandy made it out alive.
There you go.
So
That's what matters.
Sorry about your luck,
counts.
Mekhi Phifer, but at least one of us made it out. Doesn't always happen. Woo!
It's true. It's very true. I thought Freddie Prinze Jr. made a weird villain in the third one. He had a very different. I'm
like demeanor.
Like, just very different. And then when he was, when you find out that he's the killer, I don't know. It was a weird fit. It worked.
Yeah.
Obviously it worked. I like the movie, but that was just, I don't know. To me, it was a weird,
fair.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cause he was such a good guy.
I know.
You know, for the first two, and then the third one, he's just like.
Well, I have something about that too.
Oh, okay.
But
right.
yeah. I did also like how they aged up the cast for the third movie instead of having them all like early, like college, right out of high school kind of thing. Like, I don't know. It didn't seem like college or school or whatever was like a focal point. And like, whereas the other ones. Right.
Cause they're like, because one of them's getting married.
Yeah.
They're like right out of college.
That's what it seems like. Like they just all seem older. So I don't know. That was just one thing that I kind of like with, you know, it's a newer movie. I don't know. Just one sense. Slight little change. I liked that. I don't know. And then, I also obviously loved that they brought back Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. Because I mean, like I said, it would have flopped like the third one if they hadn't. So I think that they learned like we have to do something, you know, like we can't do this
some
without
of the original cast.
Exactly.
And how they were able to get that cameo with what's her face, the blonde.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Exactly. Like I don't think that this movie would have done as okay as it did or as good as it did.
Do you cover the earnings? Okay.
Yeah, so I think it would have just been really bad if they hadn't done that. But I thought the casting was really good for all of them. Even
I think so.
Jack Black's random self being in there for the second one.
97.
I thought it was funny. I don't know because he's just silly and I added some comedy to it.
There's some pretty, now that I think of it, there's some pretty brutal scenes in number 2. Mm-hmm. Like when they go into some of those sheds, like there's blood everywhere.
Yep. Well, do you want to talk about the deaths then?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I took the opportunity to rate some of the kills.
Okay.
But in the first movie, there were 6 deaths. It was David Egan who was killed off screen.
That's Leonard. Is that Leonard?
No, David Egan was the guy that they thought that they killed, but was actually killed by Ben Willis.
Oh, okay.
So it was just listed in there as one of the deaths in the movie. Then Max, who was Leonard.
Okay.
Barry, who Ryan Phillippe.
Yep. That was the guy that was hanging out the top of the car, right? With the bottle.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
And then there's the police officer who was escorting Helen.
Okay.
And then Elsa, Helen's sister.
Oh yeah, that one was brutal.
And then of course
we didn't
Helen.
see that though. She was just found.
I think that like it shows the back of him and you like hear him kill her.
Yeah, she screams, but that's it.
Yeah, like I think you hear like the
scene
or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so those are the 6 deaths in the first movie.
Okay.
There are 10 deaths in the second movie.
There's only 6 in the first one?
I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until I went through and was like, holy shit. So in the second movie, there are 10. So first it's Dave, Ray's friend. Derek, who was the doc.
That's on the road.
The doc guy. Dave was on the road.
Okay.
Derek was the guy on the dock. Olga was the housekeeper.
Yep.
Titus Telesco, Jack Black. Mr. Brooks in his office.
Name just sounds like a hippie.
I know. Well, he is.
Yeah, 100%.
And then Tyrell and Estes, the older black man. We don't see him die. It's just kind of assumed that he dies like when I think there's like an explosion and shit.
I know he got a harpoon.
Or was that it? Yeah.
Harpoon, but that's the last time.
Yeah, like we don't actually see him die. You just see him like go down.
Okay.
But it's assumed.
Yep.
And then Nancy.
That's one thing. Stop you there, though. That's one fucking thing you cannot do with these movies.
Exactly.
You can't assume shit. If you don't see them die, they can come back.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Nancy, the bartender. Then Will Benson. And then Ben Willis.
Yeah.
I almost called him Wilson.
That was son and then father.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Okay. And then in the third movie that we watched.
12.
9.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
9 deaths.
So it's less.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So there's car crash victim Sam Cooper.
Okay.
And then Wyatt, who is Danica's new fiance.
Yeah, that one was fucking brutal. Okay.
Tyler, the podcaster.
Okay. Yep.
And then the groundskeeper at the cemetery.
I don't know if I remember that one. Okay.
When he goes in to watch the cameras And then the fisherman comes in and like
Okay.
hits him in the back of the head or
Oh,
something.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And then unplugs the cameras so he
Yep.
can go after Danica.
Okay.
And then Milo gets strangled outside
Yep.
the window.
Mm-hmm.
Then Teddy gets stabbed outside his home, and he's used to lure out Grant, who is then stabbed through the neck with a hook.
Yep. That's the father, right?
The father,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
And then there's Pastor Judah, and then there's Ray, finally.
Yes. Yep.
So
Okay.
I have my top 10.
Oh, Jesus.
I was going to do 5, and then I changed my mind.
Okay.
So
I don't know if I can rate those. Okay. Go ahead.
I'll just listen.
Okay.
Number 10.
Okay.
Milo. When he got strangled outside of Ava's window, I didn't think it was a huge jump scare. And honestly, I thought like we could all see it coming because he went outside by himself. And why? Because fresh air is for dead people. Shout out to Morbid.
Okay.
We saw it coming. I saw it coming.
That's he leaves when she asked him to strangle her, right? And that's why he goes outside. Okay. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So saw that coming.
I mean, yeah, 100%.
And then I also put the police officer escorting Helen as number 9, because that guy was a dick and also a moron, and I didn't feel that bad about him dying, but it went into, Helen.
Okay.
He was being really mean to her. She had just been through something traumatic, and he was like,
Deserves to die?
well, he's the one that drove them down a fucking alley and was like, I'm a big tough guy. I can take this guy.
Okay.
And then you got hooked.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Number 8.
By a slicker.
Yeah. No, by a man wearing a slicker.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Okay.
Ray. I wasn't like 100% shocked by it because I thought he was gonna die anyway.
The death you weren't.
Yeah,
surprised by.
the death. I wasn't surprised by it because like I thought that he was gonna die anyway, but I thought he was gonna be like a victim throughout the whole movie.
Right, yeah.
So the only surprising thing about his death was that he was
The
one of
killer
the killers
and not
just a victim.
Okay.
So that's why I got number 8.
Okay.
Number 7. Will Benson. Accidentally impaled by your own father.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Oof.
That's
tough.
That was pretty gnarly, yeah.
Yeah. How embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Really? Number 6, Titus. Special shout out to Jack Black because he was just a chill dude that just wanted to smoke some ganj.
Oh, yeah.
And then he ended up getting hooked in the throat.
Yeah, that's
Poor guy.
true. Yeah. He just wanted to chill.
Yeah, he was so nice.
Poor guy. Uncredited
Yeah.
too.
I know. Poor Jack
Shit.
Black. I mean, he's fine now, but
I mean, yeah.
he's doing okay.
I mean, yeah.
Number 5, Teddy and Grant, because how poetic for them to die together. And I thought it was pretty genius in a sadistic way for the killer to use Teddy to lure Grant outside.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Son and father. That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So I thought that was like
Okay. Okay.
shivers.
All right. That was pretty
And
gnarly.
then, yeah. And then I actually kind of want to flip these, so I'm going to do it right now. Number 4, Pastor Judah. He got impaled with a harpoon and then had his eyes gouged out.
Yikes.
It was just really gory.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
That was the second one? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I said, what, 4?
Yes.
And then number
3.
3 is going to go to Helen. Just because it seems like she's going to get away. Like, I was really rooting
Which
for
one was
her.
Helen?
Sarah Michelle Gellar from the first movie.
Oh.
She got chased to her family's department store and then like...
She was killed by the tires, right? In the alley?
Yeah.
Fuck that one. That one was dumb. Okay.
Well, no, I'm saying it seemed... Why I gave it... I originally had it at number 2.
She was almost to the parade.
Exactly.
And
She's
then
almost
she fucking
there.
stopped. And then she turns around.
She was almost there. So it's like she almost made it.
You just had to keep
Just
fucking keep going.
Yeah. Poor Sarah. All right.
Blondes.
Was that number 3?
That was 3.
Okay.
You said 3.
Number 2, Wyatt. For how he got killed with the spear gun, how it came through his shoulder, and then they started dragging him back out. Ugh.
Which one was that?
fiance.
Oh, yeah. That one. Yeah.
Yeah, that
That
was
was by the pool, right?
nasty. Yeah.
No, the kitchen.
Yeah, it
Especially when she comes downstairs after her bath and discovers him. And the eyes. Oof, that one's my number 1 for
Yeah.
sure. So what's your
Well,
number 1?
I said number 1 was Max from the first one, Leonard.
Okay.
Because he's in there like doing the fish, like cleaning up the fish and everything. And the guy comes up and like hooks him under the chin and like yanks him up. I just thought it was like classic slasher.
Okay.
Like
that's fair.
I thought
I forgot
that
about
one.
How he died.
Yeah. Cause I remember when we watched that one and it happened, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That was really like,
those are definitely
I think that was like
contending for sure. That's a fair rating. Okay.
Yeah. So
I totally forgot about that.
those were my votes.
Poor Leonard.
Yeah, poor Lenny.
He's doing all right though. Yeah.
He's fine. He's with Penny.
Yeah. Oh,
They're okay. They got a baby.
God.
Maybe more.
Oh, goodness.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
The killer and the identity reveal. So, what?
No.
I thought you were going to say something.
What is it? Go ahead.
Just talking about the different killers in the movies and like how they were revealed and everything.
Okay.
So I thought that the killer's identity reveal was actually really good in the first movie because like I didn't see it coming that it was going to be Susie's father that was going after him.
Okay.
Or them, I should say. Like I thought that was a good plot twist because I really thought that it was the David Egan guy and stuff. And then when Julie goes to see Missy and she's like, he never had a tattoo and blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then Julie's like, well, who the fuck was that guy?
Right.
And then they
That's when
realize,
we find out it's Sam, right?
Yeah, Ben Willis. Ben Willis killed David Egan. They actually hit Ben Willis. Yeah. So like that one, I was like, woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, again,
that was a good one.
Yeah. Well, like I said, again, I hadn't seen it. So I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, that's true.
The second, obviously more predictable. Because the fisherman, is coming back and everything.
I didn't see the sun coming though.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I didn't see the son being involved, which I thought was a nice addition to that.
Okay.
But
yeah, that was pretty creative, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, I did figure that Ben Willis was coming back for Julie and Ray in the second movie, so like that part didn't surprise me, but the son did.
I remember thinking that he died. It was left up in the air that he, again, you didn't see him die.
Exactly.
But
he just falls into the water.
Yeah, his arm was cut off because he was like hanging from the the thing on the boat. And then his like arm gets cut off and it's assumed, I think even the cops at the end of the first one say that, there's no way that he would have made it or whatever. So like they're like hinting at like him being dead. So like you don't actually know he's alive.
Exactly.
Until the end of the second one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I guess
You're not rating this by favorite, right? You're just going in order of movies?
I'm just going in order,
got
yeah.
it. Okay.
But yeah, so that was the only thing that like I kind of saw that one coming, just being the sequel, because I mean it usually is. I don't know. I don't think
I had no idea. I didn't even have an idea.
Yeah. I don't know.
Of who was going to be in the second one.
Yeah.
I think in the back of my mind, I always thought that, Ben would come back, but I wasn't like, I don't know. I wasn't sure who the killer was going to be revealed as, fair. But I did like though, how the killer was revealed, how the son was revealed.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When she's like trying to clean him up and he's like, that's not my blood.
Yeah.
I was like, ah!
Like you're staring the killer.
I know. I was like, run away, eyes. Julie.
Yeah.
Run away.
Run away.
Yeah. So it wasn't a bad one though. I thought it was pretty good.
The reveal was good.
But now the big plot twist at the end of the third.
Yep.
So,
right?
Yeah, with Freddie Prinze Jr. being involved, I thought that was crazy. Like I said, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, I had thought that he was going to die. I didn't think he was going to be one of the killers. But then the whole Stevie part of the plot, I thought made sense because obviously like they killed Sam and everything. She wanted revenge and all that stuff. But there was no point in there where I was following the whole like Ray turned villain. Even like
I didn't even follow the female.
I didn't. When it came out that she was the killer, I was like surprised, but I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Once she explains
once they say it, then I'm like, oh my God, that actually makes so much sense.
She wanted to go to the cops.
But then when he comes out, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like that's hit me with the truck. I didn't see that coming.
That was wild. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did read something on IMDb that I wanted to share here.
Okay.
So from there, this is just direct quotes. I'm just going to read it. Said Freddie Prinze Jr. said that when he first heard the idea of turning Ray into a killer, he definitely had a big question, which is why? What has to happen to make someone go down that road? But after a discussion with director Jennifer Robinson about how Ray's trauma would have led him to this dark place, he was on board. So Robinson explains that Ray is dealing with feelings of abandonment. He's dealing with feelings of anger, and he's dealing with something that he's totally buried and repressed. So when this surrogate daughter, Stevie, comes to him and tells him what's happened, which mirrors everything that started sending his life down this path, it triggers something in him and causes this break. Prince sees Ray as a broken man who has spent more than 20 years running from his trauma. And he says, when he sees what's happened to this young girl and the similarities that they went through, everything comes back to him being this 21-year-old boy. Now his response isn't going to be to run away anymore. It's going to be to fight because running hasn't gotten him anything. So for Ray, this is about revenge. Prince adds, noting that he truly believes he's setting things right the way they should be. And Robinson, the director, says this person, Ray, has been pushed around and pushed aside and told that he was a certain thing. So it's kind of like a Harvey Dent thing. You die the hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
Is that
That's
yours?
what she said.
Oh.
No.
Okay. I thought that came from you. I was you're about to get fucking major brownie points for that one.
No, that's what she said.
That's a solid reference. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
And then Jennifer Love Hewitt was similarly surprised, but feels the twist fits well with the first two films. If you go back, or she says, if you go back and watch the movies, he always was angry about who he was in that town and who he was going to be and how he was going to be able to grow past it all. I do think ultimately it makes sense when you think about it. So that's what they all had to say about him doing that. So like after reading that, it made more sense for like the villain arc, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting since you brought, you know, we've talked about it a few times with him being the villain and stuff. That was one thing that I was like, how were they going to, like, what was the game plan going into this, you know?
I think it's a play. I think there was multiple ways they could have taken it. Not that this was wrong, but it was, you know, it was a way to take it. How it's described makes sense, especially the Harvey Dent reference, you know, that fucking makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, I thought it made perfect sense when they put it like that.
I don't think that applies to the second one as much, but again, we've already talked about that being kind of a filler where it's not really applicable, but he's not really suffering from identity. Well, I guess maybe in the beginning
he is, because
a little bit,
he's there
but
working
the rest
as
of the
a
film,
fisherman.
Yeah, but the rest of the film, like he's not. Well, no, because
but
I don't know.
That had been a thing from the first one because like it was like well known in the first one amongst them that like he was the like lower class of the four. So like I think that he was banking on like scholarships and stuff. Like they talk about it in the movie.
In the second one.
I know, but they're talking about it in the first movie when like the accident happens that they all have like these big plans and stuff, and then he ends up staying in Southport working as a fisherman. So I think that's what they're talking about. That like
that's fair. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just thought that was a nice tidbit to add in there to explain a bit.
It definitely clarifies the decision. Yeah. For sure. It wasn't just like a random, like, oh, let's just fucking do this.
But I don't know. I thought it was really good as far as which one was the best. I really do think that the new one was.
We're talking overall.
Yeah. As far as the killer and the identity reveal and stuff.
Oh, just that one. Just the identity reveal?
Yeah.
Still, okay.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I guess because we didn't really pick a winner for the last one either for like the deaths. I just ranked them, but I do agree that there was some like they were definitely more gnarly.
The 1 and 2 are absolutely the top ones.
Yeah,
like you can't fucking tell me that they aren't.
Yeah, I think they were a lot more brutal in the third one than they were in the first and the second.
Well, I mean, just your rankings.
Well, yeah,
your 1 and 2 rankings are Leonard and
Wyatt.
Yep. I'm just gonna fucking call him Leonard.
Max.
Whatever. It's Leonard. Anyways. Hofstetter. Let's do that.
Oh God.
Okay. But so definitely, I definitely would rank those two at the same. Those are absolutely contenders.
Yeah.
This one. So you said 3.
I think 3 had the best.
Takes the cake.
Like killer identity reveal.
Yeah. I suppose. I think with the Freddy kicker, I think that takes it. That alone is like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought it was really
I think
good.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree
And
with
then
that.
obviously with the first being the second place and then third being last because that was the most predictable, I thought.
I did not predict the son being part of that at all.
No, not that part, but like as far as Ben
Him
Willis coming back,
yeah.
I totally predicted that.
Okay.
So that's why that like most of that wasn't surprising to
Yeah.
me. Whereas like all of it was surprising in the third one.
Yeah.
And then I mean they had that, you know, the twist with the father and stuff in the first one.
Yeah.
But still, I think I like the new one the best, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. So we can round it out with some box office information.
Here we go. Okay.
All right. So the 1997 movie was put together with a $17 million budget, but it made most of that back when the film opened, grossing $15 million in just the first weekend.
Nice.
And then it ended up performing really well, earning $125.3 million worldwide. So
Opening weekend or
just
total?
I think in general.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
the
awesome.
first one did really good.
It's crazy that he the creator, I guess.
The writer, yeah.
The writer, struggled to sell it and it did very well.
Yep. So then the second film started out strong in the box office, earning $16.5 million in its opening weekend. Unfortunately, though, word spread quickly that the sequel wasn't as good as the first, and the film ended up grossing only $84 million worldwide. It was still a success, though,
profit.
because it had a $24 million budget, but still not as good,
not
not
as
much
good. Okay.
profit as the first.
Kind of saw that coming.
Yeah. And then unfortunately, the third film had the weakest performance at the box office.
What?
In the US opening weekend, the film only made $12 million. And overall, its final grossing, like the numbers that were reported, was $65 million, which was the lowest of the three movies.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, I mean, like,
They may not come out with the fourth one then.
yeah. So,
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers don't lie. So, in that aspect, obviously the original was the most successful and has had like the longest, I think it has like the most impact as far, you know,
culturally too.
Exactly. And then, you know, like with the references and all these things. And then even, you know, like with Scary Movie, it's a huge part of that parody too.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think, I don't know, I think that speaks for itself. But I mean, I still really liked the third one, even though it performed the worst at the box office. But I think that's also probably has something to do with the like how the second one performed.
Maybe.
That's what I think. Because then one thing that I read too in the trivia, Freddie Prinze Jr. himself didn't even watch the second movie until like maybe a year or two ago when he watched it for his podcast.
Oh, okay.
Because like they had gotten such bad reviews and all that stuff that he was
Jeez.
like, I'm just not going to watch the movie.
Wow.
And yeah, so it took him a really long time.
But
and
the
he was
second one
in
did
it.
pretty well.
Yeah, but it got like bad reviews and
Yeah,
stuff
right.
because it wasn't as good as the first one and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, you know.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, overall though,
I wonder if release has anything to do with it too, because you said the third one was the only one that was released in July.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that played,
yeah, maybe people are just busy.
or there's other movies.
Maybe.
You know, if there's like a competing movie that came out in July,
Yeah.
maybe that's something that, you know, statistically you'd have to look at.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I'm trying to think, and that's why I was trying to think of like, why wouldn't the third one have performed very well? And
I mean,
it's pretty gory.
yeah, it's
You know,
not
it's
bad.
it's got a crazy twist.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the twist alone would draw people in.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if they like that wasn't advertised or anything like that,
Well, people are going to
so
talk
I
about that in
don't-
reviews
yeah,
and stuff, you
I
know?
don't
So I don't know. Maybe
not
it's just
sure.
released, but I would definitely, I would recommend
Yeah.
going to see it because
I would watch it again.
Third one's not bad. Not bad,
Not bad at all. Did you have a favorite out of the three, or did I ask you this already? I think you said the third.
I think
one, right?
overall,
Yeah.
I think, the third one. Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Mm-hmm.
The third one, because the gore, is pretty gnarly scenes, more
modern.
modern. Yep. And then if you really want like a really good like slasher movie throwback, the original.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of where I was. I was stuck between the first one and the third, but then ultimately I did say that it would be the new one.
I'll probably never watch the second one again.
No.
It wasn't a
Probably
bad
not.
movie, but it's
It
just
wasn't
not something
bad.
that,
I
like,
just don't care
It's
to
not
see
like
it again.
Hunter Killer or like
Yeah.
Battleship where like I watch it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like one and done is good
That's
for that
fair.
one. But
That's fair. But all right, are you good then?
yeah, this is a really good. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah.
I'm glad we skipped I know we keep saying 1, 2, and 3, but it's actually 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah.
We skipped number 3.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did that.
I'm glad we did that too. I think if we would have watched that one, I would have been like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. But no, I think this is a really good pick.
Good.
Yeah.
Good deal. Alrighty. Well, then next week we're gonna close out our October showdowns with Scream. So we're gonna be talking about the 1996 original, and then I think I'm gonna have to loop in 22 and 23. I was trying to see if I could maybe just do one of them, but I think we got to do both. And yes, I am skipping all of the ones in the middle because I don't really care about them, and I make the rules. So
Okay.
those are the ones we're doing.
I didn't even know there was that many.
There's a lot. The
Screams are there?
1996 is obviously 1. 2022 is Scream 5, and 2023 is Scream 6. And
wow.
apparently they're coming out with Scream 7 next year.
Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised. But
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's gonna be similar to this one where we cover 3. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. But instead of 2 older ones, it's gonna be 2
new
modern
ones.
ones. Oh.
So kind of the same, but also different. Yeah, but whatever.
I like it.
This has been a lot, and I'm ready for the month to be over. So I'm just gonna try and end it with a bang.
Okay, there you go.
And I looked. It looks like Scream and Scream 5 are available to watch on Hulu, Peacock, Paramount, and Disney. And then it looks like Scream 6 is available on Paramount. So
We're actually watching one of those tonight, huh? Okay.
So go out and watch them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then come hang out for some fun next week when we end October.
Do we know what we're doing for November? Back
I'm
to
probably
docs?
just going to go back to documentaries.
Documentaries? Okay.
Movies are a lot and I'm tired.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just going to go back to documentaries.
Okay.
And I will figure it out as I go because I don't have a theme just yet.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought
November's kind of hard.
Yeah, well, I was initially I was like, oh, in honor of like Thanksgiving, we'll do documentaries about like thievery and stuff, because colonizers and
Yeah.
shit. But I don't
Thanksgiving.
know. I
movie.
don't want to do any more movies.
Oh,
I need
okay.
a break from movies.
That's fair.
I need to like finish strong on this, and
Okay.
then like I don't want to watch another movie again.
Okay. That's funny.
But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll see what we're
That
gonna
sounds
do.
good, though.
But anyway, alrighty. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Skool, TikTok, and Spotify. Or if you're listening on Spotify, well, I said YouTube. Whatever. You know where we are. We're there. All under the same name, The Ranting Podcast. Also our website, therantingpodcast.com. If you feel fancy, you can also send an email to therantingpodcast@gmail.com. We're here. We're not queer, but we're cool. Find us everywhere. Watch and listen to the episodes. Watch our shorts, videos on TikTok, all that stuff. Do what you want to do. Most importantly, though, keep ranting.
There it is.
Come tell us about it. Okay, bye.
Bye.